The book industry is in the worst shape. I really can't even half of the time. And I hate that I said that, but it is the only way you can respond to something like this. With a romance author who's a big influencer on Instagram canceling her own book because she references Elon Musk in it with a character, right? And so it's so ridiculous. And her response is even more ridiculous. It's just sickening. That these people are like this, and that, of course, she as an influencer doesn't hold her ground, but instead censors her own work and apologizes for putting it in there, doing harm. Oh my gosh, it's so just awful. Half the country hates this crap. And by the way, Trump won, you moron. You're not going to win a lot of people over by doing this kind of thing. But let's get into the news. A lot of people are talking about this, like saying, "Oh, it's cancel culture. We need to support her." No, she is an evil woke activist, just like they are. She just didn't think about it, and now she's virtue signaling towards them. We need real alternatives, and honestly, mainstream publishing is never going to offer that to you, and that's why we have alternatives here. Hit the like and subscribe button as we cover all things in the fantasy news, my friends, the real fantasy news. I don't think that Daniel Green can copyright that, so I keep saying it. I think it's funny. But I'm a science fiction writer myself, and if you like the idea of like an Elon Musk, a benevolent billionaire going off into space, I kind of wrote a book about this in 2020. Awesome book. It's called Colony Launch. And basically, a billionaire sets up this idea that, Earth is embroiled in a bunch of wars and conflicts, kind of like, they almost got us into World War III, was the onus at the time. And a bunch of people are like, no, we don't want to deal with this, and we don't want to deal with government bureaucracy anymore, so we're going to go out and make our own world and start fresh. And they have to deal with a bunch of complications along the way and people trying to stop them, etc. It's a really fun book. This is probably the closest work I have to Robert A. Heinlein stuff. So if you like that kind of thing, if you like classic science fiction, this is for you. Get it? It's available on ebook, print, and audio in the description below. This is it's a standalone book, one book only, so you can enjoy it this weekend, and it's one and done. I can do a sequel if I want. I haven't decided yet, but right now it's a complete story, so it's just a fun thing for you to read. Thank you guys so much for supporting our work and supporting real things out there, and I'll never apologize for anything I put in my books because that's ridiculous. These characters they're not real. There's so much to unpack here because, one, it's not real. Who cares? Number two, just referencing that Elon Musk exists and has business stuff is absolutely absurd to get offended about anyway. But let's get into this right now. So her name's Sophie Lark. She's got 100 and something thousand followers on Instagram. She's obviously had some work done, and maybe that's a filter. I don't know. But is a pretty big romance author because of this. Is published by a big group called Bloom. And so this is mainstream publishing. A lot of mainstream publishing at this point, especially in the romance genres, goes and finds Instagram influencers and TikTok influencers. They call it BookTok and Bookstagram. And they try to get these people onto big contracts because they think that that's going to sell them a bunch of books. And it does work because if you have a big platform, you end up selling books. We sell tons of books here. And my competitors always ask me, how do you do it? I'm like, I have my own platform and people tune in. And so they check out my books. And when I have high quality books, they come back. It's very simple. And so that is a good way to market in the modern world. And that's kind of how it works. However, when you've appealed to the left and you appeal to this like angry woman demographic that the mainstream publishing often goes for, you have to not be creative. You have to one, make boilerplate stuff, which the romance novel industry, a lot of that is. That's another story I could get into for a while. But you also have to be very careful about signaling anything. Now, cancel culture, especially in YA and romance, has been going on for a long, long time. And what's interesting in these genres is even if you have a character who has problematic views, as they say it's somebody who's kind of right wing and they learn to be left wing over the course of the book, which it sounds like this was the plot of this book, by the way. The billionaire guy was this hardened guy, and the woman actually brings him to be more sensitive, right? I think is the plot of the book. It's roll my eyes, but whatever. I guess there's a market for that. Even with that, they can't handle it. There was one book where it was called The Black Witch, I think in 2018, 2019. And that book was all about a girl who grew up in like a literal Nazi kind of fantasy world. And she, because of the way she was raised, was prejudiced against all the fairies and the elf people and all the other stuff. And over the course of the book, she learned not to be prejudiced anymore. And so they canceled her hard. They tried to get her book contract destroyed. And they wrote calling this woman a homophobe, a racist, misogynist, etc., and really tried to torpedo her career. Now, this woman is a Democrat, is a left winger, and so it was. And the whole point of it was, hey, we can change people's minds to come to our conclusions, and they didn't like that. They said, no, Nazis can never be redeemed, and so this is how evil these people are and just destructive, even to their own causes, which I always find funny. And so this one right here is another instance of this kind of situation. So a bunch of book talkers went out and made these videos about her, and they called it MAGA coded. Let's see, that was the wrong link. The book talkers are very, very funny. And I saw them, and they just put up text over their stuff and just like shake their heads. They don't even talk during the videos. They don't even like communicate a message. They just like look at the text of the thing and then shake their heads to like angry music. And then that's supposed to be their communications. So there's a couple of lines in there that were picked out. One of the characters says, "Shouldn't there be a crew of people with questionable work visas picking these grapes for us?" As they're out doing their thing. Again, the billionaire's not sensitive, and the woman's kind of helping him along. And then he also said, "I was inspired by Elon Musk. I use his 5-step design process." Now, at this point, again, this was written before the election, so she was thinking of it from, Elon Musk, good person, Tesla. Before, now he's bad person, Trump. And they are that stupid in these circles, right? And so that's what happened. So all these people went out and attacked him. They called her racist. They said it was racist stereotypes. Again, just because a character said this. This isn't her view, obviously. And it's so ridiculous on that level that characters can't be characters to these people. I don't write me into books. I don't know about you. Well, I mean, I don't know. But that's what good authors do, is they write characters from their own perspectives, and they say the things that they would say. It's called good writing. But that's not what these people want. These people want to be validated 100% of the time. And so here's her statement on Instagram apologizing after this. And she, of course, turned off comments because it's ridiculous. "I want to start by saying how much I appreciate the community. Your passion, support, willingness to engage in meaningful conversations has always meant the world to me." Okay, they're not meaningful conversations. Literally women shaking their heads on Instagram to music. There was no conversation, as a matter of fact. It's such a lie here. "That's why it's important to me to address something I got wrong." Oh, so stunning and brave, my friend. "It has been brought to my attention certain lines in Sparrow and Vine were hurtful. Reading your messages and hearing your perspective over the last 24 hours has been humbling. And I want to acknowledge the pain my words have caused." Can you believe these people? You really, I don't want to go back to the snowflake, but these are snowflakes. This is the problem in our society in a nutshell. That somebody can be hurt by those words I just read in fiction is a sign that these people need to go touch grass. They are terminally insane because of all of the nonsense that the media spun them up to be. It's absolutely crazy. "I am truly sorry. My intention was to craft and demonstrate a flawed main character, but instead I wrote dialogue that read as attacking to a community I care very much about." So sad. Ridiculous. It gets worse. "During the editing process, Bloom recommended removing these lines." So her editor actually recommended removing them. So stupid. "I made the wrong choice in keeping them." Yeah, because of censorship. This is crazy. "I now understand that impact matters more than intent." No, it doesn't. I mean, so just because somebody feels something is some way doesn't make it true. And this is where these women go way out of control. And this is why women should not be in the entertainment industry, because they're out of their minds. I mean, honestly, and they control everything. If you look at all of publishing, it's all controlled by these strange women. If you look at Hollywood with Kathleen Kennedy and the like ruining Star Wars, this is the message. Impact matters more than intent. And so, an intent of an author has to be communicated clearly, and it has to be something that's real. And that is what makes art art. This is really stupid. I mean, I'm getting brain damage just reading this. I regret my words have caused harm. No, they didn't cause harm. They did not cause harm. Stop. Please don't blame Bloom for my mistakes. I wrote this in summer 2024. A lot has changed in the world since then. Yeah, Trump won. You're really not reading the room, my friend. People hate this crap, and they hate this. This is why you lost, in a nutshell, particularly in regard to the fate of immigrants worldwide and certain public figures. Yeah, they have to go back now. So they won't be picking your grapes now. Some things I would write differently now. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Ugh. Words mean nothing without action. I'm pausing this book series for some rewrites to ensure my work doesn't contributing to them. I will also be listening more closely to our sensitivity readers and taking additional steps to educate ourselves for responsible storytelling. Gosh, this is like vomit. And to those who took the time to share their feedback, thank you. To those I have hurt, I am very sorry. I hope I can earn your trust back in the future. Doesn't matter. They still left bad ratings on Goodreads. You got a 1.67 just because of this, just so they could harass her, and and they don't care. So you never win by doing this. You never win by apologizing or acquiescing to this stuff. Obviously, she believes in it too, so I don't feel bad for her whatsoever. She canceled herself. Right here. The publisher didn't cancel her. The publisher didn't remove her. They let her keep the lines in there. She is canceling herself and flagellating herself, all for the woke cult. And it's really, really sick. So, gosh. Like I said, it just gives me brain damage to read this kind of stuff. This is what's going on in mainstream publishing, everybody. This is everywhere. Like I said, I covered another book in the middle of this video, so you know that this is what they do. They have sensitivity readers on all this crap to tell you what you have to change, right, about your art. And that's why we do things independently over here, where we'll never acquiesce to that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in a beautiful, beautiful story, check it out. The Colony launch is in the description below. It's available in ebook, print, and audio. Great weekend read for you. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is in my Arishon War universe, so I do have some other books that tie into it a little bit, overlap with it, I'd say, rather than tie into it. But it is a good standalone story for you to read. And I don't apologize for anything I wrote in the book or anything the characters do or say. Thank you so much. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this. We'll be back soon.